Hi there, Tracy Tutty, medical herbalist and a high performance coach. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. Today we're talking about the quest. What it is, why you're most likely to come across a quest more than once in your life, what you can do, and how to avoid the sudden downward flow when you've ignored the quest for too long. Let's get started, shall we?
Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Tutty, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So, hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we?
So here's your classic movie plot based on the quest. There's a problem, usually an emergency where a kingdom will fall unless this issue isn't resolved. A rescuer is found. He or she feels woefully ill-equipped for this journey, but honour or duty, usually both, help him or her to find the courage to accept the quest placed before him. He's given minimal resources, most of which are usually lost in the first part of the journey. Now, along the way, he comes across a guide. He faces trials, struggles, doubts, all sent to test him, to help him learn more about himself. At times, it feels like he won't succeed. The movie is peppered with scenes of his tribe suffering because he hasn't solved the riddle yet. He hasn't acquired the skills and the self-understanding that this quest will ultimately help him to uncover. His tribe are calling for him. Please succeed. Please save us. Please come back to us. Want to know why we love these quest-based movies so much? It's because the quest is an inevitable part of our lives too. And when you find yourself presented with the quest, you've three choices. You can pretend it isn't there. This is the equivalent of the hero saying to the king or queen, "Thanks for the offer, but I think I'll pass on this occasion." There's usually a severe penalty passed down by the sovereign. The hero never gets to experience new things, find out what he's capable of, or acquire new skills, awareness, or understanding. Or the hero could delay the quest. His tribe suffer because they're crying out for his help, and each day he awakens with that knowing, that horrible, anxious feeling, knowing that you've chosen to spend this day in a way that isn't the best use of your time. Or our hero accepts the quest. Hooray! He surrenders to his doubts and fears, knowing that this is happening for him, not to him, and somehow he'll find a way. Just as we observe the seasons in nature, there are also seasons in our lives. Whereas once these seasons were described according to our age, the speed with which we process information now means that there are seasons within seasons. So it used to be your spring season was up until the mid-20s. Mid-20s to 40s, you were in your summer. 40s to 50s, you were in the autumn of your life. 60s onwards, you were in the winter season. And spring was about planting, learning, understanding ourselves and making sense of our world, acquiring skills for that job for life. Falling in love, heartbreak, falling in love again. In summer, we enjoyed the efforts of spring. This is an abundant time where we're building our foundations, creating for a comfy future, growing resources, mastering our career, watching over our families as they begin their spring, and taking guidance from our elders who are in their autumn and their winter. And then in autumn, we harvest, storing our abundance for when winter comes. We're cozy and comfortable. And winter is the time for retreat and reflection. We're consuming our resources, sharing our wisdom, enjoying a life well lived. Autumn and winter may be the times when we guide our heroes, when they're venturing through their spring and summer seasons. Sounds like a romantic notion of life in the 50s, doesn't it? And then things speed up. Now we can go through 4 seasons in the space of 5 years. A career for life isn't an option or the goal for many people. As a result, we find we are questing more often. So how do you know that the quest is upon you? Often something feels unsettled deep inside. You find you begin to yearn to learn something new, travel. You find yourself reading sci-fi fantasy and not being able to put the book down. It's normal to feel anxious and uncertain when this time is upon you. You don't need to quit your job and live in a combi van, although you can. You can define the parameters of your quest. What matters is that you follow the yearnings of your soul to grow, to become more aware, to test what you believe you know of your world. Sometimes, and particularly when we've ignored the gentle urge of the quest is forced upon us. This happened to me when in the space of 3 months my project was closed. It was a tech project and it was the year 2000. Need I say more? I split up with my partner and my dad passed away unexpectedly. I was reeling. I felt like the centre of my universe had dropped away like a volcano spewing boulders into a lake. It hurt on every single level. I felt like everything that had once been given to me, that certainty that came with it was gone. The quest was laid out before me, and that's an adventure I'll share in a later episode. So here's the takeaway. The quest is a part of life, and we're moving at a pace so fast, it's now likely that your quest will happen more than once in your life. You can no longer rely on it arriving at the end of your school year and when you retire. So embrace it. Look out for the urgings of your soul. Fancy learning to paint? Give it a go. Can't stop thinking about a project that's building a school in Nepal? Find out how you can get involved. Actively seek out ways that you can make your life experiences deeper, wider, more vibrant. Give yourself an opportunity to experience what's in the margins rather than just staying in the mainstream of your life. I'll leave you with words from the most wonderful poet, Mary Oliver. She says, "Tell me what you plan to do with your one wild and precious life." Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.